to be relying on him because, as Scar said, Xiao is a big force for LMQ, and he can easily carry the entire team to a victory.
Definitely can. So we're starting out with 2 mid lane bans, Nidalee and Ziggs being removed. 2 good farmers. Ackerman's Renekton also dropped away here. I want to see just how well Benny adapts to 4.5. We actually haven't seen XDG play on 4.5. Of course, they weren't in the playoffs, and so they've had kind of a patch and a half in darkness that are prepared to get their strats ready that LMQ shouldn't have been able to research.
Yeah, and on the same note, you know, LMQ, they were known for a really strong early game. Now this is the age of Pharaoh Flare, though, and people are going to like to be farming up. Xiao can farm mid lane just fine. He can play defensively if he has a defensive jungler that's, you know, trying to farm large camps.
It's actually an interesting thought because Xiao is a player who will regularly take Wraiths and Wolves back and forth, and if no name wants those, like he's playing Xin Zhao or Nocturne, then he's actually taxing his own team.
It'll be the battle over the enemy Wraith camp.
Yeah.
Who can steal those away.
Take the enemy ones instead, smite them out if you need.
All
so
right.
Soraka comes through, that's going to be grabbed for most likely Mancloud in the mid lane, but LMQ looking at their own champions. Maybe that is going to be a fair
I would definitely expect Soraka to be picked on this patch for any team that even knows how to play her a little bit. She's extremely strong force in the mid lane, and that is going to give XDG a big foothold with which to work from. It's very similar to the old Renekton style where he can bully his lane early. She's extremely difficult to gank as well because she is strong in 2v2s.
Well, we're going to see how this pans out, though, because I feel like the junglers are almost swapping styles of it to this point. No name, going for that Nocturne, going for a Feral Flare type jungler. The Morgana's here for more, so they've got a safe back line. LMQ known to play very good at poke compositions. I wouldn't be surprised to see Orianna come through to have some kind of engage. But Smithy actually is going to be the one maybe going for a standard Lizard Elder.
I like that you mentioned Orianna, because that was where I was going to go with. If there is a good pick against Soraka, it's Orianna.
Yeah.
She's actually one who can handle her in lane. All you have to do is zone with the ball, and Soraka does have to get pretty close for Star Call. So Orianna has the easiest time of anybody, I guess, versus Soraka in lane.
Well, but XDG, they're very much going for a team fight composition, though. Some of their lanes are really good. Of course, they got a Kha'Zix jungle there. But you keep the Twitch alive with all the heals. You have Kha'Zix wreaking havoc from the AoE and whatnot. And XDG are like, you bring us to late game. Like, they're already showing if you bring it to late game, XDG's comp is ludicrously good.
Yes, both of those champions extremely strong for team fights. We'll have to see, though, about the early dragon control, because while Feral Flare is extremely strong on this patch, if you're going to have a jungler that is not a Feral Flare jungler, Kha'Zix is the go-to pick.
Yeah.
And we'll see if he can actually make something happen early. He also has extremely good objective control, so they won't be behind on that. But yeah, as soon as the Wriggles does get completed, you have to ward the dragon because it's an option much earlier than it used to be.
That's true. So the top lane already picked, though, for Ackerman. And we are likely to see the isolated top lane as standard, but maybe we see the 2-on-1s, maybe we see something crazy early game. Lucian does come through. Happy to play Twitch blind, and it's going to be Vasily taking Lucian for some strong laning.
Yeah, I'm wondering what's going to happen with the early level ones. So that's always, you know, a weird game because with no vision, it's always about which place are you going to invade. A lot of teams have actually been setting up counter invades too, and sometimes catching entire teams off guard. Most supports, though, do start with the one ward, especially these 2 supports, because they'll be able to start with the Spell Thieves.
Yeah.
And so there will probably be that one defensive ward, and then just invade the other side of the map. Probably for both these teams.
Yeah, it's been the sort of default sort of level 1 setup. We'll see if they actually manage to cross paths, like both go for red buff or both go for blue buff, something like that. Last Protected to come through. Sheep, has he grabbed the new champion this time around? I know Nami made her first big resurgence, I want to say in Europe, actually. Europe and Korea have been playing her a little bit, but Nif was the first guy I saw playing her a lot, and it is going to be Nami here for Sheep, so a few new faces to XDG. Benny Aurelia also one I've not seen much of. Yeah,
Benny does like the champion, and Aurelia has kind of been the pick to go to when Jax is banned nowadays for people who do like more damage-heavy top laners. She's definitely built more towards the assassin side than towards the tank side. And it definitely has a possibility to snowball up in top lane, but with both of them having teleport, it will probably be the normal early farm.
Yeah. The one advantage you can see is, I guess the weird thing is, both of their teleport stoppers are situational. Aurelia's got to be more hurt than Shyvana, and Shyvana's got to have her ulti available if they want to stop the TPs. So we'll see how that game plays out. The Orianna does come through for Xiao. No surprise there. So this gives LMQ a very well-rounded composition, but it seems like it spikes mid-game.
Yeah, I really do like the composition as a whole, but also the Orianna for in-lane works out just perfectly. So I think LMQ are very happy with how this champion select went. Even though they gave away Soraka, they looked like they were prepped to handle it. They seem to have a pretty good handle on this.
Yeah, and I've got to say that XDG has to know that as well, though, knowing he's going to play Orianna with Nidalee banned. Still went for the Soraka first pick. I feel like both these teams knew these were all coming.
Xiao and Orianna is not a surprise.
Yeah, no, not at all. So as the players load into the game, let's check out your predictions online. According to LOLesports.com, 76% of you say that LMQ are going to come out on top of this one. But you guys can also hop into Twitter and share your real-time thoughts on what's going to win.
Tweet your picks to @LOEsports and use that hashtag XDGWin or LMQWin. We will be checking in with the vote throughout the games today.
And that will be like an individual game vote, by the way. So if you're like, actually, game 2 is going this way, just vote during game 2.
Clear the cache, update them.
Yeah, don't
See
worry.
what the new votes are.
Yeah, keep it going. Don't worry. We got you guys locked down to this one. So, all right, talking about XDG, right? Seems like there's a crazy late game focus here. Aurelia, Twitch, Kha'Zix, like it's a lot of team fighting. There's actually a lot of healing to keep those damage healers alive with Soraka, Nami, and it's like, okay, you guys do all the damage. That's the XDG comp.
So yeah, the thing, it's not just a late game team fighting team. Like this is even an early game team fighting team. So they have a very strong AoE comp here for XDG. They can take early dragon fights as well. If you get into a corridor with a Twitch and a Soraka, then that will be devastating, no matter how much AoE you guys have. So both of these teams actually have pretty good looks for those early fights.
All right, and it is worth pointing out, guys, we are on 4.5 right now, so Summoner heal stacking is still fully effective. As a result, XDG are running 3 heals.
Yeah.
LMQ running 2 ignites, though, to help try to counteract that. Only 1 heal just on Vasily.
Right. So going into Soraka, they feel like they need more of those debuffs for LMQ, and rightfully so. There's going to be 3 heals, though, that can take off the debuff. So you just have to remember when you are playing any of these healers to use your Summoner heal first before you use your actual character heal. Now, the level 1s, whichever team has Soraka, is always very confident going into any level 1 fights. That's the way we see XDG moving around so much, whereas LMQ are really just waiting in position, and they would just be looking to get the surprise advantage. Nobody wants to walk into a Soraka for a level 1 team fight. Star Call is just devastating.
It might be a bit rough. Well, XDG, though, with their level 1, they got the ward down aggressively. It's going to spot LMQ's red buff. LMQ, though, still waiting on the bottom side of the map. Looks like they're going to go for standard lanes right here. Or is it a late invade, though? But everyone's still on the bottom side of the map.
Late invade it is. So as we said, since both the supports spell thieves plus a ward, defensively ward, go for their invade to secure 1 buff. XDG have not seen anyone, but they can probably assume they're coming from bottom side, since at least they saw Xiao come to the mid lane from that bottom side. We'll have to see if Smithy actually makes him move over to the second buff, or if he continues on a normal path.
I would expect him going over to the red buff right there. They've got to realize there's no one top lane right here. So LMQ initiate the lane swap. There's the duo bottom. So that's going to tell the standard level 1 jungle path, Smithy and Benny.
Regular 4-0 going to come out here. The 4-0 pushes on both sides.
What's interesting, though, is they're a little bit different because XDG are doing a 2 buff start, whereas LMQ is doing 1 buff and 2 little camps. I think they'll get to the turret. Looks like XDG will get to the turret faster.
Yeah.
Sorry, LMQ gets turret faster.
This is that second wave push for LMQ, and it is quicker, and you do get a slight advantage going with this. But everybody for XDG has hit level 2 as well, so they're going to be coming in. It's just a little bit later.
We'll see what pans out. Bottom lane turret ordered down well below half HP. Looks like LMQ's push going to start out very successful early on. The great AoE coming out as well for these guys. We'll see the minions start to follow this one. 3 minutes in, first turret goes down. Early recalls for Smithy and Benny. They want to hold the tier 2 turret. Oh, wow. They both, okay. Yeah, well, Smithy lost his recall. Benny got
only
out.
He got canceled there. So because they're behind, they're trying to salvage the second turret here. Sending just 1 member down, though, is not going to do anything. It's just going to be Aurelia watching the turret go down. He's wasting a whole bunch of time here. XDG are getting further and further behind. And it's no surprise that LMQ are very good at this early tower pushing game because they played in the challenger scene where this really originated. The early 4-man push, the quote-unquote buddy system that Complexity Black like to call it. They started it very, very early, so LMQ are already adapted to this style.
Well, and they're going to try to defend. Okay, there's no way. Ackerman has to recall off this one. Or,
yeah, they
sorry,
still come out
away
with a turret lead, though.
Yeah, well, as Son of Vasily takes some turret damage, Benny is getting harassed, but he should be able to keep Inhibitor turret alive. However, that does still give LMQ a 1-turret lead here, which means 800 gold for these guys. ManCloud versus Xiao Xiao. Haven't seen the mid lane much, but looks like there's Orianna getting a small minion lead on this one.
Yeah, he's only down an HP pot.
He's up 2 CS, so pretty much equivalent. It's going to be the recall, though, from ManCloud. Doesn't lose too much for it. There's the recall from LMQ's bottom lane. We're going to have Vamp Scepter picked up for the Lucian, the AD carry there. One thing I got to point out, though, is Zuna was actually given all the CS during that push, whereas No Name's having to take some of it himself. So there is a gold lead on XDG's AD carry, if that comes into effect at some point.
And they would like to get Twitch up to his Blade of the Ruin King as quickly as possible. That's when you really gain that extra threat of the Stealth Assassin. So if they can actually get him to that point, then they can start looking for those picks that they want with the roaming Twitch.
See how it pays off. Looks like XDG still want to push on this lane, actually. There's no wards watching any of the rotations here, but Ackerman's kind of solo defending this one. Of course, the top lane, Lizard, the red buff there on the LMQ side of the map, was not fully cleared. Hasn't been spotted yet, though, so it's going to take a while to respawn. Moore making his way around. Looks like this could be a 3-on-1 down here onto Benny.
Yeah, and that is sort of the general consensus now is when you do go for that second invade, leaving one small camp, because in all the moving around that you do on this new patch in the early levels of the early tower shoving game, it's a very long time before you go back to check your second camp. So by doing that, they're going to delay that red buff spawn by a very, very long time.
And the funny thing is, like, LMQ could know the respawn timer, or would have known the respawn timer because of the fact that Smithy showed up in top lane. But right now, LMQ doing the Dragon on top of a ward. Benny does have teleport. Sheep is going to make their way over, but Dragon extremely low right now, still taking damage. No, they are going to back off. It didn't go down fast enough.
Yeah, the early Dragons are really, really risky right now. You lose so much health, and just that much of health this early in the game will give a lot of map control back to your opponents. So it actually gives XDG some extra time here to regroup.
Well, speaking of regrouping, though, Benny is trying to kind of catch up here in the top lane. He's level 4 to Ackerman being nearly 6. He's had such a rough time early game. Ackerman had a way better push, and then actually managed to defend a couple of waves there at the very end of it all. So this top lane's not going to go well for Benny.
Yeah, that's because XDG made that call to try and defend their secondary turret. But since Smithy didn't get to recall and he was stopped by a minion, Benny was the only one to go back, and he spent the whole time just watching a turret go down outside of experience range. Moore gets into range and waits for the flash, but does not hit.
Nice dodge there, but ManCloud keeps himself safe. Does have his ulti and summoner heal available, but it's Ignite for a flash. It's a small lead there for LMQ on this one.
It was a good job Moore waiting until the flash came out to then throw a skill shot, but ManCloud also with the juke after, so comes out even in the end.
It does. And that mid lane matchup still going to be very even, actually. 52 to 54 right here. These guys holding pretty close. Smithy going to give the blue buff over to ManCloud, and there's not a lot of ward coverage actually in the mid lane. I'm thinking about the fact that this support roamed mid randomly to help force a flash. And there's still really no wards for ManCloud to watch if someone else comes to gank it.
They've got pretty decent coverage on both Wraith camps.
Okay, I guess the route in would be watched, just not the immediate vicinity of the lane.
Yeah, I think the big story here for the mid game is that extra CS that Zuna got. So now that they have shaken down the lanes into the 2 versus 2 situations, we'll see if this XDG squad can actually punish Vasily, because he's a level down. They don't have extra items, but level 6 Nocturne already.
Yeah, that's the big scary thing here.
And no turret to fall back on.
No turret to fall back on. All summoners up for XDG. No ulti for Moore or Vasily. You're seeing how far back Zuna and Cheap are playing. They have to know that Nocturne would be 6, and they're just playing super passive, knowing there's the threat.
And the early level 6 Nocturne ultimate is actually not that long of range. So just by playing this far back, they're actually out of Nocturne's range for his ult and completely safe there.
Speaking of completely safe, both mid laners just killing the minions away. The poor minions aren't safe, but the champions are. XDG actually pulls the gold actually back to within 600, so the laning phase has actually been pretty kind to these guys. The gold's actually flowing all right. It is going to be Wriggles for No Name, no surprise there. Lizard Elder for Smithy, also standard. Neither item completed.
Oh, face check into the Kazakhs.
The ward comes out, Slow's not going to land. Smithy not going to find anything here, just the ward going down, binding hits. Moore gets 15 gold.
Both junglers spending a lot of time down bottom here. I feel like whoever is going to get that kill with each jungler getting their ultimate now is definitely going to be able to turn into a dragon. They might even fight over the pink ward here. Smithy is caught out.
Ooh, the leap. The bind's going to go on to Sheep right there. Moore still not sick, but there comes the ulti. The teleport comes in for betting. There's no wards for LMQ in a good spot. Moore forced away. No, actually, there comes Ackerman on the backside of the mini wave. There comes Xiao Wei. Xiao, flash. It's Smithy that gets caught, though. He's going to flash over the dragon while he'll be safe. The battle continues. Ackerman pushing down into Benny. Great bubble hits Xiao Wei. Xiao. The Aurelia still getting chased. Puts a stun down. Hit up by Lucian. But the Twitch damage coming into Xiao Wei. Xiao. Not much mana for Expunge, though. Zuna's going to stealth. He's going to try to get back into range. There's the bubbles. The little slow coming is going to land a little bit. Vasily gets a black shield as well. Ackerman now the chase. He's very low. He does not have flash. He's running away. He's going to be just safe enough. The poison likely won't quite kill him. 0 for 0.
So, Xiao Wei Xiao made the first roam, but since they weren't able to kill anyone, ManCloud arriving later didn't matter, and XDG are able to chase them off the bottom turret. They could get a turret plus dragon for that. Nobody goes down, but it's a great win for XDG. They get 2 objectives off of it.
There we go. The first gold lead of the game for XDG. Equalize the turrets plus that dragon, and you stayed this one. So look at that. All the healing came through. All 3 summoner heals. Every single summoner spell that could have been used in combat, every single ultimate was. And it, resulted in some global objectives, though. XDG, Scar might be right on this one.
Yeah, very interesting move there. Even though Xiao Wei Xiao got the early roam, they weren't able to focus anyone down. XDG did a good job of kiting till Mandatory Cloud got down there. But that is only an early game lead here, and it is not that substantial. Still extremely close game. And the only difference here is that XDG are going to have the exact timer for that next dragon. So they will be able to get in position. If they can capitalize on the extra knowledge that they have of the exact timer, then it could be a bad mid-game story here for LMQ because they don't want to face check. If you run through this blue side jungle into the dragon area versus the Twitch Soraka, then it could be very, very bad for them.
It's a risk we'll see if they have to take later on. 5 minutes to go until dragon comes back up. The jungler spending some time warding for their teams. You just saw No Name put one down. Smithy has a few in his inventory.
All right, Ackerman knows that they're coming straight for him right now. 4-man squad up top here for XDG. See how LMQ can react. They have perfect knowledge.
Yeah, Ackerman gets as much of the wave as he can, then runs away, knowing, hey, I've got to pull my team over. The recall from Vasily comes through. Actually ulted to clear a wave before backing. You got Moore rotating up as well, and Xiao Wei Xiao waiting in the wings. Looks like no push for XDG. They realize they've been seen, but they're in a bit of control over the red buff. Soraka, not far away, binding onto Sheep. There comes the jump on in for Ackerman. Tidal Wave lands onto 4, though, and here comes Spray and Pray. LMQ can't easily dive back in. They've been forced backwards, but a shockwave onto 3. Here comes the push. The wish might not be enough. Zuna goes down for first blood. Smithy, he's going to fall as well. No counterattack's really going to land there. Now ManCloud getting chased by the red buff Ackerman. Pasted up by Command Dissonance, still going down. ManCloud with the heals, but it's not going to be enough. There's a dark binding. 3 kills LMQ.
All right, so this time around, ManCloud was also not there when the fight immediately broke out, and it did cost them. No Name gets the dive into the back on Zuna. He did get off a great spray and pray, but the reinitiate here from LMQ after the amazing shockwave. All right, so everybody gets knocked up by the tidal wave, and the spray and pray hits multiple people, but Xiao Wei Xiao, oh god, the 3-man shockwave into the Vasily. Huge team fight for them, and now they're going to take down Benny and Mid!
Oh no, Benny survived for a second longer, but it wasn't enough. Now Ackerman getting chased down, the W lands. There's the kill picked up. Red buff goes back to Smithy, and the mid lane turret does survive, so 1 for 1 actually.
Also, after that last push, LMQ got a lot of money back in minions because both lanes were pushing towards them. So it caught them up a whole bunch in the gold lead here.
Yeah,
and they actually got even further ahead now.
Wow. So, it's okay to go Dragons. You take the right fight afterwards, and you get massive shockwaves. Xiaowei, Xiao's Orianna. Scary for a reason.
And I have to say, that is the importance of warding your own jungle when you did just lose a team fight. LMQ had a whole bunch of vision in their red side jungle. And even though XDG made this great move and they put down deep wards, LMQ were in the position to respond. So whenever you do lose a team fight like that, you gotta ward your own territory.
Uh-oh, flash ulti from Moore. This could be a good amount of damage. Bubble's not gonna land. ManCloud stunned up. The whole team comes down, and down goes Soraka. 5-1 LMQ.
We talked about Moore being the playmaker for his team here, starting off another one, and ManCloud not having the best of games. So far, the mid lane matchup definitely going to Xiaowei Xiao.
You can see now 132 minions on him. He's actually getting the CS lead as well. Mid lane tier 2 now under fire. 4 members of XDG are around, but I don't think they're going to get much. Ooh, nice steal there. Xiaowei Xiao gets the big Wraith. Minions getting cleared away. Binding won't land, but this turret's down to half.
Yeah, he also got a big chunk out of Smithy's life right there, deterring any sort of aggression that XDG were even thinking about.
So just the quick and the rapid wave clear from Xiaowei Xiao, easily to kill minions.
I also like how Ackerman is going straight into his tank build, just going early tank here. He wants to get a bunch of armor and then stand in front of Zuna and just slowly burn him down. If they can get Zuna walking backwards, as we saw before when No Name jumps in with him, that's all they need is those two onto Zuna. If they're able to keep him down even with ManCloud's heals, then the rest of LMQ will have a pretty easy time cleaning up. Definitely going to have to watch those shockwaves. Zuna cannot afford to get hit by another shockwave.
Yeah, you saw what the last one did to the team. That was after a great tidal wave too. I thought XDG was going to win that last fight.
It was tidal wave plus spray and pray combo in a corridor.
Yeah.
That's exactly the scenario that we were setting up, which is great for this XDG team. But then Zuna had to start backtracking pretty quick there. And time spent not attacking is going to cost them the team fight.
Yeah, the follow through from, and I like this by the way, it's going to be Wriggle's Lantern into, he's fine, into Ruin King Nocturne.
Yeah, that's going to be the Ruin King completed there for Zuna though. That was the item threshold that we were looking for. Now with all these turrets down, there's so much area for him to sort of stealth around and ambush people. We'll see if he can actually make any plays. After losing that big team fight though, it's going to be dangerous for them.
Yeah, it's really important to see how good the scattering of wards is, because at this point he's only got like 6 seconds of stealth on Twitch right here. So it's going to take him some time. Like, he can't really bypass many wards.
Yeah, basically what you have to do is find somebody who's in a lane. You just go straight up your lane, because generally you'll know that there are no wards in your lane.
Well, see if you can sneak up on Vasily, Moore, or anyone else. Smithy, gonna walk backwards, ward comes out.
So there's that second dragon that we were looking for, and XDG are coming into position.
It's going down
Teleports
fast.
are ready.
Smithy does not steal. It's going to go actually over to Xiaowei Xiao with the ball.
Oh, I don't think Smithy got into range for his Q.
Yeah, he jumped Smite W'd.
Yeah.
Smite was early.
Yeah, a little bit early there. The unevolved jump is such a short hop. It's kind of depressing. Little baby jump.
It's a skip. Not so much of a leap.
So neither teleport was used though, because the dragon went down so fast. It looks like Benny will be cut off here. All of LMQ are going to get there first. Xiaowei Xiao goes to defend mid while they make this call.
Wow, LMQ don't even try for it. They're going to realize that mid lane is more important than taking down a champion. The rotations come back out from Vasily and co, but is it going to be enough for XDG? 3 men strong in the mid lane, but they're about to be flanked. Zuna's got to make his way back from this one.
Teleport in, they will be flanked.
This is great. Nice bubble that lands into Ackerman. Some good damage goes through onto the Shyvana, but will it be enough? There's a jump back onto ManCloud. Are they going to go for a shotgun in this one? The binding's going to get dodged. ManCloud's still low on health. Tidal comes out, Flash gets away from the ulti. Smithy trying to get away from this one, does get stunned up though. He's going to survive for now, but Benny falls 1 for 1 though. Big 3-man shotgun going to be a lot for that one. ManCloud falls as well. Now Zuna chased down. Only Sheep alive. He falls. Everyone goes down. It's a 5 for 2 to LMQ.
And LMQ now had have a definitive lead. They can control anything they want on the map. They can go for Baron right now or shove up mid and get the turret. Everybody's so low, and it's very early in the game, so Baron not the call here. They're going to grab the turret. Now, Ackerman with the deep teleport, even though he gets bubbled, it wasn't detrimental to their team comp. Let's see. 2 people dive towards ManCloud. I thought this was going to be bad for LMQ because they have no dives left for Zuna. However, again, Xiao comes up with an amazing shockwave. Zuna appears, and then he repositions the ball. Another 3-man shockwave into Vasily ult, and Ackerman still has the flash to get onto the back line there. So even with the Nocturne and the Shyvana ults being used early to engage on ManCloud, they still have the shockwave to rely on to get to Zuna.
What I liked is that Xiao actually flash queued. It was like a short range queue as well.
Yeah.
Just to make it get there quicker to lower the reaction time of XDG, to make sure they couldn't dodge the shockwave.
Yeah, he has plenty of games on Orianna. He knows all the little tricks.
Pretty sweet. All right, so 6,000 gold lead right here. 6.5 really. LMQ gonna grab their own red buff one more time. No name, pretty massive. Feral Flare 20 stacks right there. This is 4.5, so it's a 25 stack combined. A little bit slow, but that's his standard sort of play style. No name is very much about playing for the team. He'll farm when he has time.
And people can fall into the trap of really focusing on farming their Feral Flare and be like, oh no, I'm behind. And they forget about what's actually going on in the game and reacting to the lanes as they play out. So it's not all, you don't always want to judge them by what time they get their Feral Flare. True. It's about the impact that they're having on the game. And he has been getting to Zuna and getting to ManCloud.
Yep. He's 203, he's got a Ruin King, he's got Ninja Tabby. He's getting the backlines pretty nicely in this one. Interestingly enough, actually, Ruin King, or maybe just the Cutlass for the slow, is picked up here by Ackerman. So, though he started out very tanky with the Sunfire, and is actually adding a Ruby Crystal now for probably a Spectre's Cowl, he's like, you know, I do want the CC, though, so I can make sure I can chase people.
All right, so XDG definitely on the defensive now. They are the ones who need to start warding up their jungle to protect their territory. If they can catch somebody out, they still have plenty of power if they can catch someone out of position. And that's how they can get back in this game, if they snag people off who are far away from the rest of the team. Here it comes. This is the tank, though. Dangerous.
All right, slow's coming through. It's going to be some damage on Ackerman. The white gets taken. Ackerman walks backwards. Benny walks into 2, though. Here comes the Fear Tether. Has to flash. He's going to jump to a minion to keep himself safe. But there's a Nocturne ulti. Big damage comes through. Spell Shield is on Benny. He's going to go down in the 2-for-1. Smithy and Sheep show up to defend, but there's rest of LMQ.
Weird call there for Benny to chase, but Zuna to actually back off. I don't know. I think XDG miscommunicating right there. Different plans for both of them.
Yeah, they definitely had no vision, but yeah, chasing in general, kind of weird. Top lane turret now down below half HP. Moore takes a shield. Should have back off for now, but it's the sight of the siege. 8 seconds till Benny respawns. No summoners or ulti on him. And here's the new minion wave. This turret likely to fall. LMQ continuing their lead now at 6 turrets.
All right, that's the last of the outer turrets. XDG have definitely been boxed in pretty quick here. LMQ coming out very strong in the first game. And Scar made a pretty bold prediction, too. He's like, if whoever wins the first game is going to win the entire series.
But then he said that, you know, XDG would win 3-1. So no matter what right now, if the game goes this way some more, he's conflicting himself. Make up your mind, Scara. He's going to make his way back now. Xiao going to grab his blue buff here. That wasn't a weird Q. Whatever. Doesn't need it. Takes it with auto attacks there. 11-3 in kills. Honestly, once we got to the point where the teams actually got to group up for team fights, LMQ won every single one.
Yeah, and with XDG having the assassin-oriented top laner, it's going to be hard for them to come back without catching LMQ in a bad position. As we said, they need to have the numbers advantage. They don't have the extra health to soak up any damage. They need to use all of their offensive prowess at the same time and coordinate it for a first strike.
And it seems like they're not able to grind the fight out either. Like, even though they have 2 healing champions and 3 summoner heals, it's not enough. Like, it seems like their health bars still get ground down really rapidly by No Name Ackerman and co.
I mean, the Ignite still halves your heal when you use it, even though the heal takes it off. So really that initial burst is they still have the debuff that they're looking for, and it has been working for LMQ. Now they're trying to zone the classic Baron and bottom lane tug of war with XDG here.
Smithy gets focused away. Burns 75 gold for a ward that gets immediately dropped there. Pink ward control is there for LMQ, and they're just playing the control Baron game right now.
And look how bold LMQ are with this. They don't even have any wards in the red side jungle, yet Ackerman is all the way up at the inhibitor turret. So the rest of the team, it's on them to keep vision of the rest of XDG. And even if they have vision of most of them, there still could be a Twitch down bottom. Ackerman is just that confident that he can take Benny, and he's not even scared if the Twitch does come down. All right, they will get Baron for this if XDG make this move down to Dragon.
So XDG lost control enough. They're like, screw it, we'll just go for Dragon on this one. No one's even going to try to look at Baron here, so LMQ completely secure that objective. Smite comes out on a 25 minutes, 55-second Baron comes through. It will be the Dragon trade, but that doesn't mean too very much.
And it's still risky. So Smithy's going to have to jump over, but Ackerman can find him. They've got vision. They trade objectives, but they're also going to lose Smithy. And he canceled Zuna's ambush.
He can flash. He can flash.
Oh my god.
All right, now can Xiao chase him down? Flash by Ackerman. Zuna does not have the stealth up just yet, and there's the burst coming in. Nowhere for him to go. That was a great move by Ackerman. He knew he was recalling there.
That was beautiful. Completely outplayed right there. And they'd rather kill Zuna than kill Smithy, because now there's very low chance for XDG trying to defend. One of Twitch's best positions is inside the base at a turret where he's trying to defend and shoot people through this small corridor into the lane. But now, without that threat, LMQ just run on the turret.
Well, two-man bubble, but no way to carry here. Push still coming out. Now is the ulti onto ManCloud. He's going to flash away from that one. Burns the heal on himself, plus an ignite goes through. But now bottom inhibitor under fire. Tidal Wave comes across, gonna land onto 3, and there comes the engage. No name push backwards. Here comes Twitch. The battle is on. Shockwave lands onto 2. Zuna gets caught while invisible, but bubble onto Xiao. Xiao isn't gonna be enough. Forcing the flash away. 5-man LMQ running away. Smithy still around. Nice culling. Gonna drop the team back as well, and no engage for XDG.
Baron regeneration really helping out LMQ here. They want to finish this inhibitor first. Hard engage from XDG. Oh, they do not pull the trigger.
Find that a ManCloud gonna heal himself. Nothing else picked up. LMQ gonna get out. XDG gonna have to hold in their base and get some minions.
Now, one inhibitor you can come back from, not that big a deal, but really the gold deficit is what's hurting XDG right now. They just don't have the power to fight a full-on 5v5. And they haven't been extending and taking the risks to catch anybody from LMQ off guard. They've been playing the numbers here, going with the safe exchanges. They figured the safe exchange would be like, okay, we're not going to face check Baron because somebody will die, even if we have the possibility of getting a steal. We'll rather just trade you Dragon for Baron. And yet they still lost somebody for it, getting caught out in the Dragon pit.
Yeah, that was just great by LMQ to be able to collapse on that and to realize what was happening. They had the Trinket Ward down already.
Yeah, I mean, Ackerman has just been playing with so much confidence, pushing down there in the bottom without any extra vision, and then pulling back at the right time to check for Dragon. They figured out what XDG were doing very quickly.
So good stuff by these guys. And of course, Ackerman's the guy who's kind of left in the field saying, okay, look, you get all the waves into good shape. The rest of us will clear the jungle, we'll buy the items. Then we'll be ready to go now that all the waves are in the place we want them to. Looks like mid lane or top, they might be the target. Of course, bottom lane already cleared out. It's going to be XDG forced to hold that for a while. There's the engage, looks for the mid lane. ManCloud gonna get jumped on by 2 from both sides. Black Shield comes out just to be sure, and No Name gets the kill credit now 13-3, 27 minutes in.
Okay, well, that's the signal LMQ want. They're looking to end the game now, straight in the front door.
And ball on Ackerman, mid lane, inhibitor turret goes down. Pink ward there just to make sure there's no Twitches working around this one. And the inhib falls as well, so 2 inhibs dead. Baron still on for about 50 seconds. And LMQ clear 1 more minion wave.
All right, ManCloud will be back up for the defense of the double turrets, though. LMQ aren't wasting any time. They're actually just face-taking.
They're trying anyway, 4v5, and XDG still aren't fighting back. Turret number 1 goes down, bubble onto 2, No Name disengages.
Minions are here, but so is ManCloud.
All right, here we go. This is the climactic 5v5 for XDG. LMQ say, you know what?
Zuna's getting deep here. He actually got into pink ward range there. Getting zoned out by the ball.
Sheep forced a flash away. That binding would have hit. Now ManCloud once again about to be locked up. Takes a bunch of pain. Beautiful shockwave. Xiao picks up 2. Smithy forced back. Zuna going to be falling down rather quickly. That's going to be game 1. 28 minutes. And LMQ are 1/3 of the way into the LCS.
Yeah. Congratulations to LMQ. First game down. And I have to say that guy right there, Xiao with the shock.